Hope you are staying cool. I am just gonna get the iPad and the other phone set up and give it a second, see if anybody else hops on. I didn't post my live anywhere, but I did schedule it, so I'm sure it will send out some notifications. Alright, and I'm gonna plug in my mini iron. Alright, so on Friday, Clue 6 for Cotton Cut's Flyway quilt will release. So I posted a video for Clue 5 earlier and I figured I would do it on my live. Hi Cynthia, how are you doing? So I hope to get it done all in one go. It is super hot in New York City. We have had like heat warnings, and the craft room that I'm in does not have its own AC. So I've had the door open, so it's not like super hot now, but it probably will get hot quickly, especially with like the iron and stuff. So I don't want to be on too long tonight. Hi Charlene, hi Arnetta. From Arizona. You know what? It feels like Arizona right now with out here with humidity though. Yeah, Arnetta, sizzling hot Washington D.C. Same in New York. I was remote today and I was so glad because yesterday commuting in the hot weather was terrible. Hi Nicole. All right. So yeah, so I'm working on the cotton cuts. It's already going to be month 6, and so I like to try to, I always film, like for example, there's 2 different sections, so I always do like a full-length tutorial for one of them, and I haven't done one of these on a live in a while, so I'm like, let me try to keep up to date, or otherwise I'm usually like rushing trying to finish all the blocks. So school ends here in New York City on Thursday. So I will have summer off and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping to go live a lot more, just not only on Tuesdays, and hopefully be able to film a lot more tutorials. I'm just peeling these right now, trying to, these are the batiks, so I'm just trying to make sure I have the correct side facing up. And then I need, and I always double check because the fabrics, for whatever reason, I always accidentally flip the orange and the yellow. So I want to make sure that I'm putting the correct pieces in. I don't want to have to rip anything out. Hi, Pat. Oh, what part of New York State? I'm actually located in New York City, and it is sweltering right now. It was said on the news that it's like been the hottest day since 2012 here in New York. And then the funny thing is that on Friday it's supposed to drop like pretty drastically down to 70, which is going to feel so crazy, I feel like, because it's, my car earlier when I was driving said 105, so it's preparing me for in July when I go to the Socation Sin City. So when we go to Las Vegas, I'll be ready. Though I know the humidity's not there, so that part I guess is good. So I'm just doing, these are called, I think I've seen them called economy blocks, and I really like them. And I'm so curious, like I want to do a quilt where, for this, it's just, you know, the batik, so it doesn't really have a design, but I think these quilt blocks would look so nice if you had, like a print that you wanted to feature. and I have a whole bunch of Tula, and I think I want to make some with that. I talked about it before, I think, on one of my lives, but they're shop hops for like quilt stores. And right now is the New York shop hop. It's running from May and June. And so it's broken up into different regions. And a couple weekends ago, I did the southern region. So I've been buying a whole bunch of charm packs of different designers, and I'm going to use them for the puff quilt pillowcase for my class in Las Vegas. But I'm excited for any extras. I purposely bought different ones that I enjoy the prints as well. It's known by the Southern Tier. Yeah, it's so warm everywhere. My parents in Connecticut have a pool, and my nieces have just been like living in it the past couple days. I'm jealous. I wish they were within driving distance. So these blocks are great, but they are time consuming because you can only do like one side at a time. But the nice thing is that at least there's more than one, so I can chain stitch them. Have any of you been working on any sewing or different craft projects? And like Arnetta, I know you do a lot of knitting. Do you do knitting even in the summer or more towards winter? I have one of my completed quilt tops from Cotton Cuts from when I did Village Green, and it had a lot of like solid colors in it. And I keep telling myself that I want to stitch it with like big stitches, hand stitched to finish it. So on that shop hop, I bought the pearl size 8 thread. So that is on my list of to do things as well. I need to pin it all together. Yes, that's true. I could drive home, but it would be a very long drive home and back. Charlene, you're at a 3-day quilt retreat. Oh, that's so fun. Are you guys working on a particular pattern, or is it kind of just bring your own projects? I've only ever did the like big sewing expos. So I think like a smaller quilt retreat sounds so nice. I really want to do a sewing cruise too. Amanda from Sew Bestie that is putting on the event in Las Vegas, the Sewcation, she hosts sewing cruises, and I think they would be so much fun. No, I cannot believe, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I said Clue 6 comes out the end of the week, and I feel like June has just flown by, and I was like, oh, I really need to finish up Clue 5. So that was my motivation to get the video out and then for the live tonight. So that way I'm ready for Clue 6. So funny, whenever I start the Cotton Cuts quilts, they are 10 months and they do like a fall and a spring one. So they'll overlap, and I'm like, oh, 10 months seems so long, and then I don't know, it's just time's flying by. I also think like the older that I get, it just seems like time goes by so much quicker. Oh, Charlene, you're working on your own projects. Cool. So, what did you bring? I'm curious. I have like all these projects and ideas in my head, and I actually have like a pile behind me of stuff to um, finish sewing. Like when I made my new purse on the live with the Tula pink with the cats and the cork, I still have not edge coated the strap. So when I saw my parents the other weekend, I had my old purse, and my dad's like, "Didn't you make a new one?" So I was like, "All right, well, I have to really finish that." Hi, Wendy. How are you doing? Charlene, you're going to Sewcation. Awesome. I think there is an area for open sew. I have not been to the Sewcations yet. Last year, Vegas was, I believe it was in June, and here in New York, we're still in school, so I wasn't able to go. And then October was hard. Anytime during the school year, it's so hard for me to get the time off to make it. So I'm pretty sure that there's an open sew, um, but I'm not 100% positive. I know all the machines are like there for you for the classes, but I think open sew you bring your own machine. But I'd have to double check that. I definitely just pushed something on the TikTok thing. Oh, sorry. Whenever I go live on Tuesday nights, I always go live on YouTube and I go live on TikTok. So something just popped up. Hi, Kim. Oh, you're not in the car. I know. I feel like you're always running around like nonstop. Oh, Becca and Ian, I'd have to look at that. I try to catch their podcasts and stuff. They're so funny. That would be really cool to go with them. I'm super excited for the Under the Sea, um, not reveal, but like to start, which is the next puzzle mystery quilt, because um, I have no clue what colorway I'm getting. For Wild West, Sean picked it for me. For this one, I picked my own. But I think there's 6 of us that said we were okay with people choosing our colorway. So I'm really excited. I have no clue what colorway I'm getting or who picked it. For sashing. Ugly fabric challenge. Oh, that's so cool. The ugly fabric challenge sounds awesome because I feel like some fabrics by themselves look so terrible, but then, or like I would think I wouldn't like it, but then you see them in a project and they look so good. I love sewing with batiks now because everything just it's so crisp. I feel like when I press them um, or even just trying to line things up. A lot of times in the other puzzle mystery quilts, like my edges are not always straight, and I just like hide it in the seams, and that definitely still happens occasionally. Um, but I feel like I'm doing so much better with keeping everything straight using batiks. Oh no, did I just... Oh my gosh, look what I just did. How silly. I did grab 2 pieces and didn't even realize. Well, hopefully this is the only seam ripper that I need tonight. That is so funny. Had no clue. Like they were matched up so perfectly. Yes, two are restocked, two are endangered. Yes. I my top two, if I were picking my own for Under the Sea, I love Davy Jones' Locker, which is like a Halloween theme with pink, and I liked. I think it's Atlantis. It's the Calf Fawcett one that is all blue. Um, Both of them would be like new to me essentially because I have not sewn with the calf, and then I have not um, done like a Halloween or holiday one. Also, I in my head I always say cafe, but then I've heard people say calf. So if I'm pronouncing the designer's name wrong, I apologize. You're doing Shipwrecked. Oh, that's exciting. If a Shipwreck is the one I think that has like the beige in it, that's one that colorway I think my mom would really really like. That one reminds me of her aesthetic. And for myself, I usually like bright and colorful, but I try to also try new things. So that's why with someone picking my next colorway, I'm really excited about it because I know I'm gonna be happy regardless of what I get. I feel like when they show the different colorways, there's very few that I'm not a fan of. And usually, by the time that it's done, I actually really like them. Forgot the one that is right now. It was like one of the reproduction fabrics. I forgot the name of it, but I wasn't a big fan seeing it in like the color wheel. But now that I've seen the blocks coming together each month, I'm like, oh, that looks really nice. So Kind Cuts has also taught me that just because the fabrics might not appeal to you, that once you see them all together, um, it might look great. Which is why I think I like the idea of the ugly fabric challenge. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. The Wyndham fabrics. Yes. Arnetta. So this one is a steam fast. It is a new one because I had the old one that was on recall. So this one, it says model I3. So steam fast model I3. I think it's just from Walmart. I know my original one was from Walmart, and because it was on recall, I asked for a new one for Christmas. So my parents got it at Christmas, but I'm pretty sure it's still from Walmart. But it's super convenient. I don't put any water in it to use it for steam, but I love having it just super quick, especially with like smaller quilt blocks when I'm not trying to press like huge seams or anything. It's so convenient to just have, right here near the machine. Yes, the backing is great because otherwise you have to piece it, and the 108 inch, like, I think people will really like that too. That's another thing that I really love about Cotton Cuts as a company. Um, they do take everybody's feedback into consideration and are just really, really some of the nicest people. Hi, Nikki. How are you doing? I cut this one too short and pulled my thread out. I always do that. I'm always like not wanting to waste anything, so I cut it too short and then go to sew and then pulls out. But oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, I didn't post in my Facebook group or put it on like Instagram or anything. I did pre-schedule it a little bit ago, so I was like, all right, well, people will get notified or they'll see it. Oh no, I might have to rethread this completely. Yeah, I don't know why, but when I rethread the top, if I don't rethread the bobbin at the same time, not rethread, but like take it out and pop it back in, it never wants to work properly. Because it's not like I'm changing the, um, like the tension or anything like that, but we'll see. Yeah, so whenever I rethread the top, I usually have to just like pop out the bobbin case, put it back in, and hopefully we'll be good to go. I'm laying them back out to make sure that I am sewing the correct side. Because I don't clip things anymore when they're small, I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally like sewed the wrong side because I wasn't paying attention, and I've like turned it in my hands. So I'm really excited. We had a pre-order ended a few weeks ago. I forgot the exact date, but I got shipping notification that the fabrics and the webbing too are on their way. But I'm super excited because I think we have like 20 different prints of the Majestic nylon coming in, and I cannot wait. I'm hoping that they get here before Las Vegas and that I can use them in kits for my classes there. Not the puff quilt, but the winter crescent bag and the book bestie. So Sean said the same thing, that he never really said there, like, paid attention to a right side and a wrong side. But it could just be in my brain. But I feel like that one of them, it almost looks like the weave is a little bit different. So I don't think it really matters. But especially on like the darker, like the green, I almost cannot tell at all. But on the lighter colors, like the yellow and the orange, I feel like there's a difference between the two sides. So I don't know if it's really like a wrong side, but because the texture looks a little bit different, I've been trying to keep them going the same way. And like I think also with the batiks is that because the dye, like, it varies in color, especially like the orange and the yellow, I'll show in a second, that I think the way your eye looks at it, it's all gonna blend in. So like if you see here with the orange, like some is a little bit more red, some is lighter. So I think just having like stuff like that kind of just blends it on your eye. On the block. Yeah, so that's so funny because I, for whatever reason, keep reversing the orange and yellow. The orange is my fabric C and the yellow is my fabric D, and I have reversed it on almost every single month so far. I don't know why my brain thinks that, but So far this month I have not done it, but we'll see. We're not done through it yet. Oh, you're chopping dill. That's awesome. Do you ever make pickles, Nicole? I love dill. And then this one here, now I have to make, it would have been 16 half square triangles, but because I have already done a block, it's only 8. But, and ironically, it's all these fabric C's and D's, which are the orange and yellow. So I've just been laying them out, stacking them too, to give myself the room. Yeah, Charlie, let me know. Like, if it's not live anymore, you definitely leave a comment because I'm curious. Or Nicole, I know you love batiks. Do you feel like they have a right side and a wrong side? Dill, beet, and cauliflower pickles. That sounds interesting. I would try it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of beets. I like cauliflower and love dill, but maybe if the beet tasted like dill, if it kills the taste of the beet. One of my friends one time had it was like a, not a protein shake, but kind of that idea, and he had gotten beet in it, and I tried to drink, and I was like, oh, to me it tastes like I'm drinking like earth. All right, I'm only just looking because I'm wondering if I miscounted an orange, because I think I'm going to need another one later on. All right, I'll have to making sure I didn't accidentally double sew. I do have an oops kit if I need it later on, because I do think I might be short in orange. All right, we'll see as we go along. Oh, really? They're your favorite root veggie? Oh, that's great. All right, yeah, so Nicole, you're in the same, that there's not really a right or wrong. Yeah, I don't know why. I just feel like the weave looks different. But I'm also can be super OCD about things like that. And like I said, it could just be like how my brain is looking at it. Yeah, my parents love beets. Like growing up, we always had a jar in the fridge, especially during like the summer. Yeah, now I'm worried that I've sewed a couple together since especially because I sewed that A block earlier together. So I'm gonna double check these as I pick them up. Oh yes, look. All right, here we go. There was 2 stuck to each other. All right. I mean, occasionally it does happen where cotton cuts, doesn't give you a block, but like knock on wood, I have never had a missing piece. And this is I think it's like, I have to double check, but I think this is my 6th puzzle mystery quilt. The crisper the line is the tops. Okay, that's what you were taught, Nikki. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like to me, one looks like I can see the weave more, and where I can see it more, I've been putting that on my backside. So I'm just hoping that whatever I'm doing is consistent, so that way when the quilt is all together, you won't notice. You love beets, hates the stains, yes. I watched Jenna from Thunderbird Handcrafted. She does like dyeing with indigo and stuff. And I always thought it's so cool how you can use like naturally occurring, or you know, like natural vegetables and plants to dye. I'm sure that you could probably do that with beets. The other thing that I've noticed is that with batiks, this is actually an 80-12 needle and not a 70-10. And usually I'll sometimes get the fabric jammed in the feed dogs, especially on pieces like this where it starts at a point. I noticed that sewing with batiks has really, it doesn't happen quite as often. And I ran out of bobbin on this one, so I'm just going to move these to the side and wind the bobbin. I dye my moose hair with beets. You can dye sourdough with beet powder. Oh, Kim, I've been loving watching all your sourdough and all the different types that you've been making. Moose hair tufting. That sounds incredible. Oh, okay. I knew like Native American, you know, obviously use like natural occurring plants and stuff to dye, but I didn't know that the red is from beets. It's so cool. So I'm sewing with Gutermann thread, and because it's just piecing, I'm not really paying attention to the colors because I feel like it all gets hidden anyways. So I just used up the rest on this spool for the bobbin, and I'm gonna have to grab another spool. So for my bags, I used the Tex 35 from Wizardry Stitchery. So I have a couple of like the, I don't know, 20 packs of Gutermann with all the different colors. So I'm just gonna grab another one real quick. You probably hear me banging around over here. So I just grabbed another brown. I feel like the browns are neutral and kind of been blending in, because this colorway reminds me of autumn and like changing leaves. So the brown reminds me of like tree bark. Use zucchini to make bread and butter pickles. Oh, that is a cool idea. It's so funny. I love zucchini now and like yellow squash, but I did not like it growing up. But now I could eat it all day long. And I love zucchini bread. Especially if it has like walnuts in it. It's my favorite. And it's funny, I don't like chocolate chips in it though. So sometimes my grandma, I have to request without chocolate chips. There's something, I don't know what it is. Like I love chocolate, but I don't like it in like bread products. Like I won't eat a chocolate chip muffin or pancake or in, like I said, in the like zucchini bread. But chocolate by itself, love it. And this is also going to have two different browns, like one in the bobbin, one in the top, but again, not worried about it. And I just started in the center and backstitched over my first sew line. So it's probably not like a best practice, but I totally do that. I love blueberries. Blueberries are, them and pineapple are my favorite fruit. I could eat blueberries all day long. Alright, now I get to cut these apart, and then hopefully I press them the correct way and don't mix up the colors. Yeah, I love that now that it's the warmer months when all the, like having a garden or the fresh berries, like my parents have raspberry bushes. That's one of the things that I really miss living in the city. Although there are a lot of like what they call community gardens, but there's none near me or like that it's close enough. Sometimes we'll do container planting, like and put it out on the front porch, but you can only do so much with them, or the space that we have, I should say. Ooh, see, cocoa powder might be okay because I don't feel like that has like quite the same taste as like a chocolate chip. Her own fabrics. Sunflower for yellow berry. Oh, see, that is so cool. Do you have any of her fabrics still? That would be awesome. I love like stuff like that where like the traditions and get passed down, and learning like the same techniques. That's one of the things I feel like with COVID, there's really been like a revival, especially with like the crafting world. Oh, that's so cool. Those are something to treasure. I think part of me too is my major was history, so I just love history, and I think as a teacher too, I just love learning. So I find all that stuff like really fascinating. So there's two sections for this block. This is the 5A and then there's the 5B. And I feel like the 5A section takes so long, and then the 5B comes together so quickly. I also have a lot of fun on Tuesday nights because I like mixing it up. Like last week, I was doing the minky blanket. Like tonight is quilting. I think that's one of the things that I really like about sewing and just being able to try different things. Like there's so many different fabrics and patterns and whatnot. I feel like I can constantly find something interesting to do and not get bored with it. Alright, so now I need to lay these out side by side. And what I did earlier is I laid them out and then stacked them on top of each other to make sure that I had them all going the correct way. And that worked out well, so I'm going to do the same strategy. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like, okay, well, when I'm tired of bags, then I break out the quilting, or I have like a closet full of knits and I'll make something for my nieces. I feel like the only thing is I have so many ideas that I want to do. It's trying to get them all done. But I really like want to work on that this summer and make it more of a priority of YouTube lives and tutorials. Moose hair tufting. I'll have to look up tufting. I want to say, is that like where, I feel like I've seen it, like kits to do that in like a craft section at Joann's or Michael's before Joann's went out. It almost makes it like fuzzy. Or like, is it near the like the cross stitch and the embroidery type stuff? Or I might be thinking of something completely different. Yes, I love that Cotton Cuts has put that like planning sheet or whatever so you can count each month. I am not, I don't feel so confident with quilting in the terms of you know, I'm confident like I can put it together, but to like plan it out, I have no idea. And I love when people try to guess. Like the cool thing, if you don't know about these puzzle mystery quilts, is that the end design is a complete mystery. So as we're sewing it, we only get, they call them a clue, and we only get each month. And so the final design, you have no idea what it looks like. And some people are able to guess the final design or get pretty darn close. And I'm never one of those people. Like my brain just cannot picture it, I guess you could say. But I have noticed that we have done a ton of the economy blocks, and I also feel like I've done a lot of half square triangles. So I'm really interested to see how that turns out, because like I said, I think this is my 6th puzzle mystery quilt, and none of them really had economy blocks like this. So I also believe that they said this one might not be, what's it called? Is it symmetrical? There was something about the final way of this that it's going to be different compared to all the previous. So make sure I press these all the correct way. And I love how this looks. It's like a pinwheel, and it also reminds me of the circus. I don't know if it's just like the bright colors. It reminds me of like the, you know, like the big tent or whatever. But that's what I was thinking about earlier. Did one of the 400-piece stitches. The stitches are really cool. I've thought about getting one because it would have, like, I feel like I could use it in a lot of bags. I love being a part of the Cotton Cuts Facebook group because people just post everything that they make, and I'm just blown away about, you know, designs that people come up with just by having pieces and, you know, following their own, like their own brain, like no pattern. Because I'm definitely not one of them. Or if I do sew with it, it's definitely like randomly placed, not trying to make certain blocks. I don't know if I reverse one of these. Let me double check. I definitely think I... this one is right. I don't know if, let me check these. Alright, I think these two, I definitely sewed the wrong sides together. And I would think that it would have just, like worked itself out, but let me double check. I think when I, like, what I was saying is like when I moved it towards the machine, this is where I accidentally turn it and sew the wrong side. I'd rather catch it now though, thankfully, than be like putting the whole block together. I've totally done that too, where then I've had to pull out so much. So I'm glad that I caught it. And again, it's with the orange and yellow, always. Alright, so I need the DC, this side. That's exactly what I did. I sewed, when I pulled it over here, completely sewed it to the wrong side. Oh, that's so cool, Nicole. I think that's a talent. I don't know. I would, before I would say that I was not a very like spatial person, but I think since I have started sewing, I've gotten better at it. But it's definitely not my strong suit, and definitely not where I'm like, oh, I could replicate that. The quilt math, like even with bag math, I have to like check it a whole bunch of times. And it's something that like I can do it, but I don't enjoy it. I always love the people that can do like the quilt math so quickly. It's so funny. Like when I started sewing, I did not realize how much math goes into it. I had like a whole new appreciation for people that sew because there is so much math. I was grateful. Like I think about it and I go back. I took like in high school a lot. I took drafting classes, both like computer and architectural, like on paper. And I also did what was it? I don't know. I did another thing. I feel like I go with sewing. I go back to that a lot. Yeah, or like robotics, or even just growing up with my dad. Like he'd always do like carpentry and different woodworking projects. So I'm grateful for learning the ruler and stuff. Something that I didn't think that I would be using very often when I got older. Yeah, that is the nice thing about cotton cuts too. The more you do, the more your brain starts to be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This will probably go together. All right, here we go. Now, oh no, what did I do now? Did I flip this one? I'm just really striking out tonight. DC. This one. Oh my gosh. So before, like I would be like so embarrassed that this was like on my live, but now, one, I'm just comfortable because I appreciate everybody showing up and chatting. But two, I'm like, all right, well now if people are gonna see this, like they don't need to feel bad if they make mistakes too. So I see that a lot in like the sewing groups, people beating themselves up or like, I made a mistake. And I'm like, I think a lot of us make mistakes a lot. We just obviously don't, we always post our best work, our finished product, so you don't really see them. So here's my behind the scenes of all the mistakes. All right, D. And I'm like, let me check it. D fabric is yellow. C fabric is orange. D fabric is yellow. All right. Third time's the charm, right? So. Yes, it's the pinwheel block, and I feel like it's my nemesis. I really thought I had it. I was like, all right, perfect. And then two colors ended up being next to each other. I mean, I guess in a way, like it worked out so perfectly when I was filming for the tutorial, so I guess I'm thankful I didn't have to edit any of that. So, all right, here we go, right? Let's see. I'm just making sure my seams are opposite directions. All right, I think this is finally it. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. And it's funny, when I start making mistakes, you know how sometimes they're like, all right, that's my sign to stop? Like sometimes I'm like, I have to fix it. I can't leave it like how it is. Yeah, see, exactly. In my tutorials, if it's something that like in a bag or whatever that I feel like it can be a benefit somebody to see how I correct a mistake, I will totally leave it in. But if it's something like this where I'm trying to be like very precise, also because I know a lot of new quilters and new people to cotton cuts watch my channel. So for those tutorials, I definitely edit out the mistakes. So I want to make sure anybody following it, especially for the first time, is not struggling. All right, finally, they look good. Now I can put them together. I need one of these and one of those economy blocks. All right. And I know I did it right because my yellows line up and my oranges line up. This is where I always I fold back so I can see my seams at the same time, hoping that I can match them up. Especially because it's not like a nested seam right there, it's that triangle portion. I also love like sewing the cotton cuts block because I just feel like at the end it's just once I'm done it's so satisfying. Like, I feel that sense of accomplishment, like, all right, this month is good. All right. These seams get pressed to my left. It's not perfect for that point right here. I don't know how well it looks on camera, but it's pretty darn close. So stuff like that I don't worry about too much. So especially once it's all sewn together. I'm definitely happy with that. It's, the most important part is that my yellows and my oranges match up. All right. And so now I need this one here and our other. Again, let me make sure that my C and D fabrics are the correct way. With the dark greens, it's so hard for me. I feel like the depth of it throws off like the visual a little bit. So hopefully they line up kind of nice in the center. But again, I don't stress too much. And you'll see, it's so funny. This one is a large block and it's taken, I don't know, an hour so far. But the next piece will just go so quick. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you doing? Are you staying cool? All right, perfect. So now I can attach these two together. And I'm just lining up, or the best that I can, trying to line up those centers and clip them. It's like the third time tonight that I've pulled the thread out. This is because before this I was like, okay, it's hot. I am going to try to be quick. And because I said that, I jinxed myself. Part of my problem too is that I don't hold my threads. I used to when I started sewing, but I found for the most part that this machine doesn't really like pull them. But if I did that, I think I would have less trouble with my thread coming out. Aw, well, drive safe. That's so exciting. I hope they had such a good time. That's funny. I still have to book my flights and such for Las Vegas. I was comparing. I thought Southwest had a direct flight, but I think they might have changed it. So now I've been looking to see, like, do I do Southwest with a layover or do we do a different airline? There's too many choices. When I have a lot of choices like that, it's really hard for me, and I will like look at the stuff over and over and think, like, way overthink about it. All right, yay! So this is the 5A section. finally the pinwheel worked out and all the colors match up, so that's how I know I did it right. I'm so excited. I love these colors. I'm so happy that I picked the Phoenix colorway. And so then now I just have the last section, 5B, and that is quick because I already did the pinwheel. The steps in the first part, how do you do the pinwheel. So this is just 3 flying geese, so should be quite quick. And then for these, I like to lay out my flying geese if I'm doing more than one, and so that way, even though they're 3 different steps, I can sew them all at once. Oh, thank you, Arnetta. Thank you, Charlene. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turns out. I feel like I said, with the puzzle mystery quilt, you have to be okay with surprises though. If you are not, I definitely don't recommend it, but if you are open to, you know, not knowing what your set quilt or final quilt looks like, it's so much fun. And I think part of the thing that I really love is just the community of people. And Cotton Cuts has like a Facebook group, so we all each month like post our progress, and not just about the puzzle mystery quilt, because Cotton Cuts like sells and does other things as well. But it's just such a fun community. I love the sewing community. I feel so lucky to have really started because I'm completely self-taught with sewing, so I'm so happy that I started to teach myself and then found the sewing community online, because it's just a really lovely group of people. Yeah, that's what we like to fly too, JetBlue, and I think they have direct flights from New York. I think JFK. So. And then it's funny, I also obsess over, I'm like, okay, so being in New York City, we could fly out of LaGuardia, JFK, Newark. There's the Westchester Airport, but then I also check like closer to my parents. So I'm like, there's Hartford, there's Providence. There's too many choices. This is why I procrastinate too, because if I procrastinate, then I have to finish it, and I can't think about or overthink about everything. Mystery shawls. That's amazing, Arnetta. Was it a mystery for you too, or a mystery for like people who are getting them? Because I think that would be kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm just going to start without a plan and see how it ends up. Yeah, I've also never flown nonstop out to Las Vegas. We did a layover last time. So I'm not sure. I haven't done. I mean, was it 5.5 hours or so? It's like a long flight. I haven't done a long flight like that in a while either. Oh, that's so neat, Arnetta. I wasn't sure how it would work, but that would make sense. I guess like you do it in sections, and then you don't really know what each section is. I look for flights from Arizona to Vegas. So expensive. 5-hour drive. So are we gonna drive? Oh, so see, Charlene, if I would totally drive if I was in 5 hours. I actually have been considering like, is it worth it to drive and turn it into like a cross country road trip? But the only thing that is, I love driving. I don't mind it at all. Like I would drive the whole way. When we went out to So Whatever Studio in April, we drove, and so I'm like, all right, that was like halfway, it would be like double that. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's worth it. Or I feel like if to be worth it, I would want to plan like a road trip and hit up the national parks or different tourist places that I want to see along the way. Yeah, Mary Lou, that's great. It's nice being in Northeast or New England because there are so many airports within um, an easy driving distance for us. And I love flying out of Providence and Hartford because they're so small. So it's so nice to just be able to get through things pretty quickly. I would love to go to Disney. Yeah, Disney is so expensive. We haven't been I hadn't been in like 20 years, but when we did a sewing expo down there, we made it work for a couple days. My dream, like, got to dream about everything, right? But I always hope that, um, like, so if you don't know, we also have a business called So Majestic, sell sewing supplies and whatnot. And my dream one day is that it becomes so successful that I can take my nieces to Disney. So that's always my little goal. The Mall of America. Yeah, I've only been to Minnesota for a layover. Ironically, Kim, that was where our layover was last time when we went to Vegas. I know, Mary Lou. In my dreamer world, I would love to be able to organize a sewing expo in New England. It's just so much work, and um, I feel like it would take so long to plan. I think that's like a multi-year dream or process trying to get that to work. But it's true. There are I've noticed there are a lot of like quilting retreats, um, but not like a big expo. All right, make sure I point these all the correct way before I get going. Yeah, Disneyland. I've never been to. That's the California one. I always mess them up. Disney World, Disneyland. Yeah, I've never been to California. The farthest west I've been is Las Vegas, and that was a few years ago. I think it was like 2019, and we went to the Grand Canyon as well, so that was cool. And it was so fascinating. Like I never had seen a desert or anything like that, and so just getting off the plane and seeing the desert, I felt like I was in a completely different world. Kim. Well, Kim, now that I have a reason, like I need to come visit. I think Minnesota would be beautiful in the summer when it's warm, especially aren't you like the land of a thousand lakes or something? Like you have all the water, but I am not jealous of your really cold winters. Maybe you could convince me when to go if there was we could also go to the hockey game. That would be the way that I would think I would go to Minnesota in winter. All right, like triple checking I got this all going the right way. With the thought, there's also a ton of mosquitoes here though too, and ticks. Ticks have been so bad. I mean, I don't have to worry about them really in New York City, But my parents' house and stuff, because our winter wasn't very like cold this year. Go to a fight, a hockey game breaks out. That's so funny. Yes, one of my favorite players, Zuccarello, was traded from the Rangers here in New York a few years ago. So it wouldn't take much to convince me to go watch. I love watching hockey. We haven't gone to a game in a few years because they just, here in New York, they're just so expensive. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how prices are this year. Because it's Madison Square Garden, I feel like they don't ever really do deals. And some of the other arenas have like fun outdoor activities and different things, but New York doesn't really do anything like that. The last piece. I survived the pinwheels. That and football, the most expensive sports to go watch. Yes, I've never been to an NFL game. I went to like college ones when I was in Florida, but not NFL. I think that's the only major league sport. That and soccer I haven't gone to. But, all right, yay! So this is the 5B section, and I know I did right because I triple checked and my colors matched up. So, thank you guys so much for joining in with me, especially on this sweltering hot night. I appreciate you hanging out while I battled this pinwheel. I always really look forward to Tuesday nights chatting with you all. And like I said, my last day for work, school is Thursday. So for summer, I definitely plan on keeping my Tuesday night lives, but I do hope to do a lot more since I won't have my, I'll have the summer off. So that's my goal. Hopefully you guys can hold me accountable. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good week. I'm not sure what I'll be sewing next week. I'll let you know. And hopefully I'll be chatting with you guys on social media. Stay safe if it's been sweltering and hot where you are. Make sure you stay cool. And I'll see you next week. Good night. Bye, everyone.